Previously on Lintcraft. I figured I should finally upgrade my gear to netherite, but then disaster struck. But I can't do that without some top tier enchantments. We are going to make a librarian villager trading hall. We will apply the name tag and welcome Hector. And welcome Stanley. We're gonna go out into our farmstead and find us some cows. And there it is, we've done it! All 34 maximum level enchantment librarians with maximum discounts in one convenient trading hall. It's 1.20 everybody! Welcome to Lintcraft, I am Lint Gravy and today is the day, it's update day and oh man oh boy do I have a totally gravy video planned for you. So to everyone watching this in the future, hello! You're watching this whenever I'm done editing it, but I'm recording this on 1.20 launch day. Before we get started, we're going to slap some mending on the rest of our gear, and we've got to stock up on some essentials, especially building blocks, for where we're going today. Let's get plenty of stone, we really can't have too much, and start loading up this shulker box with supplies. We're going to need some buckets, some ender pearls, I'll bring some trapdoors even though I never figured out how it works, and some rockets for after. Before we set off, let's head over to the enchanting tree. And that was painful! We barely had enough levels to get it done, but we have mending on every piece of netherite equipment in our inventory. Now we're back at the farmstead, and the cow barn from episode 4 is about to come in clutch for more than just food. We're going to right-click our bucket on one of the cows in the pen and get that sweet, sweet milk. Okay, milk in hand, we're ready to head east to a village I like to call Enton. I call it that because the mountain next to this village has... nothing. Huh, I could have sworn it was this one. Maybe... is it that one? No? Or this one? This is a lot easier from the air. Okay, here we go. I call it that because the mountain next to this village has a stronghold under it, and I partially exposed it to the surface so I could find it later. There it is, the end portal. We're going to be going through in a minute here, but first we're going to check out the stronghold to see if there are any unopened chests. Nope, no luck here. You see, even if an area like a stronghold was generated in an older version, any chests that were never opened until 1.20 should have the new loot tables, including the 100% chance of getting the smithing template I in a stronghold library chest. Unfortunately, I really have no idea if there's an unexplored library here. I know it's spawned with one, which I stole all the bookshelves. That's unsettling. So here's an area with no torches. I didn't bring that many sadly, but let's see what we can find. 2 hours later. Okay, so the stronghold didn't have a second library or really anything worth exploring, so let's hop some dimensions, shall we? Welcome everyone to the end. Man, spawning on this little platform over the void is always so nerve-wracking. Let's hurry and get up to the center island and make sure not to look at the Endermen. We'll get our water bucket just in case. So, the first thing to know about the end is the void. Don't fall into it. When in doubt, shift sneak crouch. The second is the Endermen. They're everywhere, they boop around randomly and get in your way, and if you look at them, they'll lose it and attack you. But you can do a couple of things about this. I chose not to, but you can use shears on a pumpkin and put it on your head, and it will act like horse blinders so you can look at the Endermen without pulling aggro. But it also does affect your field of view, so I'm just gonna not look at them if I can help it. Another thing about Endermen is they hate water, so if you ever have one harassing you, just drop a water source at your feet. It'll flow out and give you some Enderman burning personal space. Because of the void, though, it's best just not to look at them, until they get in your way. Anyway, so you beat the dragon, and now you've come back to the end to see what's beyond the main island. You're gonna want to find this portal thingy, tower up to it, and use either trapdoors or ender pearls to go through the thing. I know the trapdoor forces you to crouch, but I never quite figured it out. Is this some Java joke I'm too Bedrock to understand? Anyway, it's super anxiety-inducing, but just chuck an ender pearl into the portal and it'll shoot you into and through it, where you'll be on another terrifying edge overlooking the void. Okay, now we're at the outer islands and we can start heading toward those pink and white buildings, the end cities. Now we have two problems here. The first is that the outer end islands are a fractured archipelago floating in the void, so you've got to be careful, and economical, with your crossings. That's why we brought so many building blocks. Bridging! The second problem is that I've been to this end before, obviously, as we didn't fight the dragon when we got here. This is my third time to the end, to be specific. The first time, as soon as I got the elytra, I was so excited to test it out that I flew down from the top of the end city, circling around it, but there was a bedrock bug that considered the air blocks above the islands as part of the void, and I instantly lost everything. Big bummer. The second time, I was smarter about it, but I had to go really deep into the end to find another city with an elytra. You see, Gravy Gang, the elytra spawns in the end ship, and not every end city spawns with an end ship, and my beginner's luck had already run out. So today we're probably going to have to go thousands of blocks deep if we want to get our wings back, but it will be worth it. 2 more hours later. Oh man, oh boy, we've got some linty luck today. We've got count 'em, two end cities to choose from, and the closest one to us has a ship. So, end cities are towers that rise upward in a sort of parkour challenge, and along the way you'll have to deal with the residents. Shulkers. Shulkers are weird little mollusk shell things that open and close like bivalves and shoot little balls of levitation at you and sometimes teleport away. They're easy enough to deal with, but without feather falling 4 or a ledge to catch yourself under, the levitation can be lethal. That's why we brought our milk buckets. Drinking milk will remove any status effect, like the shulker's levitation or the pillager's bad omen. I usually use the levitation to my advantage to skip the parkour jumps up the tower, but if you don't have feather falling, you might want to stock up on milk buckets. So once you get up into the tower, it'll branch off and you can explore the different paths. Only one leads to the ship, but most of them should have some treasure chests and the rare ender chest. Make sure to use Silk Touch. We'll keep hopping our way up, dealing with the shulkers, and whoops. It can also help to use building blocks to make the slab platforms easier to ascend, and to break your fall if something bad happens. Make sure to loot the shulkers, as their shells can be used to create those sweet shulker boxes. Bring a looting 3 sword to get more faster. Eventually, one of the spires you explore will have a platform sticking off of one side, and this is your access to the end ship. Unfortunately, the ship is floating in the sky like 30 blocks away from the tower, and usually they spawn over or close to the void. The easiest way to get across this is to bamf over with an ender pearl, but as I said, these things like to spawn near the edges of the island, and one wrong throw could send you into oblivion. So I'll be bridging over, but that isn't without its own danger. There are shulkers on the ship, and other than the crow's nest, there's no ledge to hide under if you start levitating. Once inside the ship, you'll find a brewing stand with a couple of health potions as you descend into the hold where the real prize is. Guarded by some shulkers, you'll find an item frame with the elytra. There it is, we have reclaimed our wings! Now we'll check the chests and... I can't believe it! There it is! Spire! On our first try! Well, I was going to say that we're going to keep exploring these other cities, collecting extra elytra until we found Spire, but there it is, we did it, mission accomplished, we can head home! 1 eternity later. Okay, so if you're thousands of blocks deep in the end, you might chance upon another one of these portal dealies, and if you go through it, it'll bring you back to the main island. Of course, we used up all our luck on Spire, so we're basically already back, but we'll shave off a few minutes here. Now, back on the main island, we just need to jump into the center portal and we'll be back in the Enton Stronghold. I really need to build some stairs or something. So now that we have our wings and our first smithing template, we're going to need to go on another quest to find more diamonds. But I think even more pressing than that is our need to unfurl these wings and go out exploring for some new 1.20 content. We'll need more templates, we need a camel, we need to find some ruins to excavate, we need to experience the new update. So next episode, we're going exploring! Now let's embark on our maiden voyage. Oh, how I miss this view! Things look so different from the air! And that's a wrap on episode 6. Thank you so much for watching. I am Lint Gravy and this has been Lintcraft. See you next time. Goodbye.